Topic for today is remarketing. Anyone want to take a shot at what they think remarketing means? One, two, three.
Marketing to those people you've already worked with.
That's right. People you've already started to do business with. Admittedly, it's a pretty simple thought. It's a pretty simple idea, but it's amazing. Let me close out the screen. It's amazing how few of our clients view their business that way. So I've set up a large soccer club. I just sold a bunch of stuff to 3,500 soccer club players. The season's over with. I'm pretty much done. Not only are you not done, but you have a huge opportunity to go back to that either subset of groups or big groups and provide a lot more services and product offerings throughout the year. So what we're going to do today is start with the basics. We're trying to start to stimulate your thoughts like, boy, new and different ways that I may not have thought of, either to look at your business or to look at the valuable data that's coming through TUO. So first and foremost, many of you don't know that we introduced a feature about 2 months ago in which we have enhanced data collection when the shopper checks out. So we call it our shopper data collection tool. First of all, the tool is very often used to help the fulfillment process. You know what? I would like the shopper to tell me the last name of the player so that when I go to fulfill that order, I know who that player is. But there's a whole other side to shopper data collection that you can use, both for marketing analytics as well as for remarketing.
Okay, so like Jerry mentioned, shopper checkout data is the data that you collect from your shoppers during the checkout process. So I'm going to start off by showing you first what I mean, and then I'm going to tell you how we can set that up in the system. So so this is the URL of the store that you probably like share with your shoppers, and pretend that I'm pretending to be a shopper right now. So I go on a store, add an item to the cart, and I'm kind of going through the entire shopping experience as a shopper. Say I add an item to the cart and I check out. Click on checkout again. I want bulk delivery. I click next. Now this is the part where that shopper checkout data is applied. So once you see the customer information, the customer or the shopper is required to enter the full name, phone, email confirmation, and then these two questions that I've like set up here are the shopper checkout data. And how we can help that is you could ask anything to your shoppers. You can ask questions like, would you be interested in learning about a loyalty program? And they could say, yeah, sure, why not? Or like you can get their answer, what they were trying to answer about this loyalty reward program. Or you could probably ask them what is their favorite brand, and you can give them options like Adidas, Nike, and or any bunch of products that or brands that you sell on your store. So this is kind of a way in order to get your user preferences, what kind of products they like. So now I'm going to explain how that works on the TUO platform and where exactly you can set it up.
So before we do that, let me ask a question. Anyone that feels free to answer. Has anybody, A, been aware that we added shopper data collection tool about 2 or 3 months ago? Anybody?
No, definitely not.
And B, is anybody, even if you haven't, would you have thought to actually gather that kind of information from a shopper?
I'd love to, but never would have thought it.
Right. So Sarthak's going to show you in any store that you set up, you can activate 5 different data collection points. That's what he's going to show you next.
So you go to the store settings, and the shopper checkout data option is all the way down. So you'll have to scroll a bit right here. Do you see these options? Shopper checkout data option 1, option 2, option 3, 4, and 5. So these are the 5 options that we have, like 5 questions that you can ask your shoppers that they can fill out during the checkout process. And this was my first question that I had set up. Would you be interested in learning about our loyalty programs? You can change the text like to whatever you want. And there are basically 2 types of shopper checkout data options that we have. One is a free text, and we have 3 of them. And the other is a selectable list. We have 2 of them. And as you could see on the main store, the free text is something in which the user will have to manually enter and the selectable list is something in which you provide a bunch of options for the user to select from. And so all you do is, by default, all of these options are selected to no. You just say yes, and you just enter the question that you would probably want to ask your shoppers. And if you would want to make it mandatory for them to answer this question before they can place their order, you just select yes. Or if it's something that you want to be like optional, you just say no. So that's kind of like really simple here. And as far as a selectable list is concerned, for example, if you want to give them an option, you just say yes, ask the question, for example, what is your team? And then you provide options for them to select from: team 1, team 2, and so on. So in the drop down, they will be able to see team 1 and team 2, and they'll be able to select that.
Perfect. Thank you. So most of our clients use shopper data for the fulfillment process, as Sarthak pointed out. Identify your team, identify the homeroom teacher, but frankly, since it's in there, you can use it as a survey tool. It's a marketing analysis tool, as a gathering tool, as you pointed out.
So all the data that you collect from this page is available in your store reports. So you go to store reports and you click on full report, and the shopper checkout data is available to you right here.
So we'll come back to the reason we suggested one example, which is give me your favorite brand or the brand you buy most often. We'll come back a little bit later in this webinar to show you why that's important. All right. All right. So next, a tool that you may or may not have been aware was in there, now aware, and a more creative way of using it potentially. So here's another idea. How many of you have gone in and customized order receipts? Anytime you set up a store, you can actually set up and customize what the receipt that goes out when someone places an order, both can do and what it says. So most of our clients will set up an order receipt that is just a standard order receipt. Here's what you ordered. It's going to be delivered by, expected to get in by. So what we're going to show you next is a creative way to use that same order receipt as a marketing tool. All right, and again, one of many different ways you might be able to, once you understand what it can do, one of many different ways you might be able to.
First, I'm going to show how it looks like to a shopper. So like I showed you this store, right? So once a shopper enters all the information, they place an order, they get an email about it from the store, giving them the details of their order, saying thank you for placing an order with XYZ, the order information and all that. And so this receipt, it kind of gives a very good opportunity for you to give an incentive to your user to shop even more on your stores. And how? It's right here. So you can add a customized message here for the shopper and include like a coupon or a link to your another store. You can have an image and link that image to a different store. For example, this image, if you click on this, the shopper goes to maybe like a separate store in which he or she can go and shop even more with that and avail the 20% discount that you're offering. So basically, it's an excellent way to incentivize your shopper to shop even more. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do that. Coming back to an example of this one Spirit store, again, you have to go into the store settings to here, custom order receipt text. This is basically what your shopper is going to see at the bottom of their order receipt. Just this area. And so this area is like you can add a thank you message. You can include an image using this option here, right? Insert image, and you can link that image, and you can add a link on that image to a different store or a different discounted site that you might have, and just like click update store settings, and it'll be.
So let me give you a practical example. There are many. We have clients that will do that and then drive traffic back to their main website. Another very common use of this tool, so the order receipts tab in the settings tab is what's called rich media enabled. Rich media enabled, when you look at the top bar on that box, anytime you see that box, you'll notice that there are additional things that you can do across the top bar. So actually, it's pretty universal to the internet. But anytime you see a box, as Sarthak is pointing out, that has different functions up there, it's called rich media enabled, and generally meaning it's HTML. You can add links, you can add graphics, you can even add video, you can add video links. So really the headline of this section is you can really be creative with how I actually use the order receipt, because that's effectively a marketing tool that's going to each shopper. Another very common use of it is to actually set up two stores when I'm working with a team. So I have a wrestling team, let's say, they're going in to buy their uniforms, but at the same time I set up a supplemental store for that same team where they can buy extra pair of socks, spirit wear, additional items throughout the season. And what a lot of our clients will do is they'll set up the team store and put an offer inside the order receipt and make that offer click through to the supplemental store that was set up for the spirit wear and the other items for that team, and that store stays open longer throughout the season. So you're connecting the shopper in one store with the opportunity to shop in another store. And again, there are hundreds of other ideas and ways that you could use this tool. Third idea, which is pretty common, however, it's amazing to us how often what we think is common is not. Anytime you set up a store, it's very easy to extract. So the third idea would be to be building out your customer contact list. The truth of the matter is some of you might already be doing that. Some of you might not. So we're going to go to the basics and assume not, but that show you that over time, probably one of the most valuable pieces of information that you will generate with using TUO is all of the customer contact information that you can use to go back and remarket. So Sarthak's going to show you first where within the reporting you can actually go get all of the contact information for people you've actually already done business with.
All right, so back to our Spirit Store example. You see this link right here which says store reports. So once you click on this store reports, there are a whole bunch of different reports that you can access here. You'll have to scroll down to see that custom report option. So once you click on the custom reports, this is where you can create a custom report for yourself. So you don't have to every time go in and change a bunch of fields in the standard reports. And I'm going to give you an example of how this custom report looks like right here. So you can actually create a report in which you'll have just customer full name, their email addresses, phone numbers if you wish, their addresses. So basically all the contact information that you need from all your shoppers for that one particular store. And now the big question is, how do you create it? So you go to the standard reports and you see there's an option of full report. So once you go to the full report, it gives you all these fields, right? But you probably don't want all these fields. You want only the fields which are related to the customer information, the name, email address, and all that. So you go to the edit report option, and right here it says report content. In this, you can just include whatever information that you need from your customer. If you don't want order ID, handling fee, you can remove all those fields. Just have customer full name, include the customer email ID, customer phone number, and yeah, just remove all the other fields. Gives the report a name, let's say customer information, and then you just say save as a custom report. So once you save it as a custom report, this report would be available to you under custom report with the name that you had given, customer information. It will be available here, and that report would contain only the information like full name, email, phone number, and you can have shopper checkout data as well if you want to include that.
So we're going to show you one or two very simple examples of email marketing campaigns. And actually what we're really going to show you is something and that is, and we'll come back to this later in future sessions, but Team Uniform Orders offers a whole library of marketing promotions and materials that are available to any client to use. And we even will do email marketing campaigns for you. Now, if that's something that interests you, we'll come back at another time and get into much more detail. What I'd like to do now is actually just show you one example. Okay, I've got an email list. I've set up that list in Constant Contact or MailChimp or one of the standard email software programs. I want to show you how you can connect all the dots together. They do a lot of business using their team business to then re-promote what they call their hard goods business. So I've set up a team store for baseball. I've done orders for 2,500, 5,000 players. Then what they do is they re-promote the hard goods items that are available for that sport later on in the year. So what we do for them is set up email templates that actually are attached to live stores. And the cool part that is a technical, very, very cool part of the technical design of our stores is the fact that you can feature one item and feature it in an email campaign. And these are actually direct links from the email campaign, and it takes you right into the online store, right to the item that's being made available in an online store. So it's actually a way you can connect a real email campaign and directly take the recipient into a live online store to start buying. So if you're not, you should be gathering email lists. Work with us so we can show you how powerful the email lists are. We can certainly recommend monthly, every other month, frequent email marketing campaigns. It's amazing how quickly that will grow your business. But Sierra is actually going to take a minute now just to make you aware or remind in some cases, beyond supplemental stores, in other words, stores that can be open and set up later on after a team store has been set up, to create new opportunities to sell additional products. Sarthak mentioned by example, we added in the shopper data, identify what brand is my favorite brand. I could easily go back, find the Adidas folks who answer with Adidas, and set up an Adidas discount store and reach out to all of those folks with an Adidas discount supplemental store later in the year. So lots of very creative ways to use that tool plus what Sierra is going to show us next.
We do have stores, you know, you have your normal stores, and then we have stores that, oops, show my screen. Okay, so we also have another store. So after one store closes, you can actually reopen another store that has merchandise in it. And what we mean by that is that it has all the normal products from your previous store in conjunction with products from our merchandise store. So like you have the goggles, the mesh bag, the water bottle, towel, and we also have merchandisers that can actually merchandise anything that you need. So if you want a product that's not in our merchandise program, you can we can call one of our merchandisers and they can make it for you.
All right, so let me jump in just so we're clear. Most of you are not aware that TUO maintains what we call a merchandise library. And actually it's products that we've test sold through other clients where we've done all the work, we've gone out and sourced the contractor, and 100% of those products are products you would never sell. But we've gone out and found items that we complementary to the items you might include in the store. And you will see when Sierra shows you these items, two considerations. Number one, we've already struck the deal with the contractor. So the good news is if in fact you want to put some of these items in a store, we can commit and promise, even if only one item is sold, that it would be supplied. Number two, they're all customizable. So you can customize any of these products that she'll show you in just a second with a team logo. You want to go back to a specific team later and then give them opportunities to sell additional merchandise. Most of you are not aware even that this program exists. So we do have a merchandise program. We're always adding products to it. So Sierra, go through and show them some of the examples of some of the merchandise that we have.
Perfect. So some of the products we have in our merchandise store are shown below, like a custom sleek phone case, iPad Air sleek case, laptop case, water bottle, car tag, laptop folding case, and customizable socks.
So click on the phone cases so you can see that they're can be designed with logos. So we had a major push last October, November, December on something that Sierra's going to cover next. But phone cases are the #1 hottest selling item if in fact you find a team that is willing to let you set up a store using their logo to sell logo branded phone cases, custom phone cases to their team. So again, we're not going to explain how the program works and all the detail to it. Just file away. oh wow, I didn't even know the TUO has merchandise available that I might want to test sell in a store. If you do, you reach out to us. We'll work with you on setting up the store free of charge, doing the design of the products free of charge.
All right. So the next thing we're going to touch upon are holiday stores.
Oh, it's too early. It's not even Labor Day. I don't want to talk about the holidays.
Well, usually around the holidays is when everyone has excess inventory. You're just trying to get rid of all the extra stuff. And with the holiday stores, it's a great way to kind of re-invite people over and get rid of your extra inventory. Now, your holiday stores, we actually create those for you for free. And I'm kind of showing you guys an example of one right now. You can re-invite all your players, all the customers back into shop, so it'll have all the products that you had before, plus some of the holiday ones. So this is one example of a holiday store. And I'm going to show you guys another one. More holiday, more Halloween looking. So this is you should probably start planning in advance, before the holidays, obviously Labor Day weekends this weekend. So let's say the next holiday is Halloween. If you want something for Halloween to get rid of that excess inventory, start planning a couple weeks in advance. If you want us to create it for you, send us over all the information and we'll have that up and ready for you guys. Great way to market towards your customers, get the rest of the inventory out the way and just, kind of have fun with it.
As well as gifts, personalized gifts. So, just be aware, if in fact it's something you're interested, reach out to us. We will in fact set up the online store for free, no charge. In fact, we got behind this program last year fairly heavily, and November was the second highest record month we ever had. So it's amazing how many people, obviously we all know they're ready to shop. It's amazing with a little bit of effort and some creativity how you can actually garner a lot more sales that you may not have ever thought of. So we appreciate everyone that attended today. The list is about 27 down the side. So all 27 of you, thank you for participating. Please be aware, whenever you need to get a hold of us, it's amazing how long we've had this little icon in the upper right corner of your dashboard and how people are afraid. We had someone tell us last week, well, I was afraid if I clicked on it, it might delete my account. So I get that, but don't be afraid. TUO Connect tab, upper right corner of your dashboard, 3 different things you can do, 4 different things. Number 1, within a few days, we'll post an edited version of this webinar for anyone to see. There are multiple videos on the TUO Connect landing page. Check it out every couple days. Every time we bring a new feature to the table, we'll put a video in there, a simple how-to-do video. So we will definitely do a version of what we covered today. Number 2, we have a live chat during normal business hours and sometimes abnormal hours. If you have a simple question, you want a real quick answer, open the chat. You don't have to open it, it opens itself. Put your name, email, tell us what your question is. We'll make you a promise. We might not answer right away because sometimes we're on other sessions like this one. So we're not always monitoring it, but we all get a transcript of the chat within 5 minutes. So we know what question you're asking, who you are, and we can get back to you within 10 minutes. So use the chat. Third, and most important, if you ever need to get a hold of us 7 days a week, we have a dedicated hotline number. It's on the TUO Connect page, but it is 888-428-5188. Similarly, we get a transcript of every call, and we have somebody available to help and support 7 days a week, even on holidays.